Alrighty, you probably already seen somebody else do this, or you probably heard of it, the new warrior character designs. This is not a joke, this is actually happening. As you can see now, this is Marvel's website and the actual character design. There's even the video of I'm guessing the writer, the guy who's mainly in charge of this, describing everything. So he's a meme that says, super teen whose brains become connected to the internet after becoming exposed to his grandfather's, okay, and this is the funny part, experimental internet gas. What? What? Okay, so if you're gonna give somebody superpowers and you're gonna have a backstory, and yeah, it's fiction and all, but it should make some sort of sense. You know, there should be some sort of, it should line up. Internet gas is not, it doesn't fit. It's not plausible. It doesn't make any sense. And at that point, it sounds like not much thought was put into it, honestly. He could have said anything but gas, electricity, a current, a chip, those would have suited it fine. An experimental electrical current, nanobytes, something of that nature, not gas. Because that's not how it works. Internet cannot be turned into a gas. Okay, not that kind of matter. Doesn't work like that, and it sounds stupid. and yes, it's fictional, and I get that, but you want it to be semi-believable. You want to bring your character, or you want to bring your viewers into the story and have them somewhat believe this fantasy world is true. But if you just throw shit together like that, it makes them, like, it's kind of insulting. They're intelligent, kind of, and it just makes it sound stupid. And that's my biggest problem with a lot of the backstories with these characters, is that it seems like it was thrown together and not given much thought. Hey all, Savage here. Today I'm doing a speed paint on bleh. Hey all, Savage here, and I'm doing a redesign of the characters Flake and Safespace for the new warrior. A lot of people don't like these designs. I honestly don't think the designs are much of an issue. They are boring, simple, and plain, but they're not the big, terrible issue that's, I think, is getting all the attention. The big thing that's getting everybody going, ugh, is the fact that Snowflake is going to be the first non-binary character that could show up in a comic and even a cartoon, which is great in itself. However, why the name Snowflake? And that's not even like focusing on the fact that on the cover art, these twins being as siblings are shown intimately holding each other. I don't know, maybe the artist doesn't understand body language. It's just bad. Going back to the main issue, for those who don't know, non-binary, someone who doesn't fall under either gender role, nor he or she. They have their own adjectives and adverbs. I don't know what they are. So from now on, I'm going to be referring to this character as the individual, because I don't think it's right to be referring to this character as Snowflake either. Snowflake being someone that is a crybaby, whiny, complaining, drama queen, someone who is not a person of action, but a person to complain. The reasoning for this character getting this name was supposed to be used. It was supposed to be used in an ironic sense, according to the creator, because the character's power is to take soft little snowflakes, crystallize them, and harden them into a sharp weapon, such as like a shuriken. Downside to this power, it's kind of weak. If the character had to face up against an enemy with armor, or surrounded by any form of heat, they'd be in trouble. And as a result, the name seems to be more of an insult, at least it comes across as such, than an empowering name. Heck, just calling the character individual sounds more empowering than Snowflake. Yeah, it's like getting the first female super character and calling her the maid or the washing machine, regardless of your reasoning. It does not sound nor look good. Going forward and focusing on the actual character design, done with my rantings. As I said before, the character design in itself isn't that bad. Very little information is given about these characters and or their personalities. And that's with all the characters, honestly, and I could poke holes in them all day. But most likely these are roughs, and I'm hoping these are roughs and not solid, like, set in stone. Be it the design or the information and powers of the characters. So again, with these designs, they're not terrible, they're just overly simplistic, show no real personality to the characters, and overall just boring. The only thing that stands out is the bright neon colors, and I hate those. They hurt my eyes. For the individual, what I did is basically, instead of having that little white coat thing that does nothing and is pointless in every sense of the design, I gave him a leather jacket, and for the spikes, I made them ice, like little ice shards coming up off the coat. I thought that would be cool. I cut the one tracksuit into two parts, gave the individual pants instead of a tight forming suit. This way it would be harder to identify the individual's gender, and it just looks more comfortable and easier to move around in. I also made the shirt kind of like a crop, not really, just to see like a little bit of, like, I guess the midriff of the stomach. And again, that goes into the whole idea, when I think of non-binary, I think of also not just somebody who, like, doesn't fall under gender stereotypes, but also a trap, because I watched too much anime. So I thought that would be like a nice little funny tease to put in there in the design. You don't know what gender they are, but you're still kind of attracted towards them. Then we went on to Safespace. Very little information was given about Safespace. Only 2 bits were really given. One, he's a stereotypical jock, which I don't see in the design because he's wearing bright freaking neon pink. And 2, that his superpower is basically a bubble shield that only comes out if he's protecting someone. So for his design, I basically kept a lot of the original design. I combined the, like, knee cap thing they had going on with the shorts, and I made it so he was still wearing the tights, because when I hear jock, I think football. Football players wear those tight looking pants, so, like, tights wouldn't bother him. Maybe not would maybe bother individual, but not him. Another thing about Safespace that I thought about is, like, he'd be like maybe a gentle, kind, giant kind of figure, but maybe not as sharp, maybe a little more airheaded. Just overall bubbly kind of social kind of figure versus individual, his sibling, who would probably be like more like cool, rugged type of person. I'm using individual to describe individual. Oh, that's confusing. So, I also, with the top, what I did is kind of made it look like a sleeveless sweatshirt. And, with the gloves, I made them cut finger gloves and put weapons on either arm. This way he'd be able to defend himself and protect himself as well as others. I think it would also work well with his powers because, you know, 2 ways of protecting is one way to look at it. And basically with the colors, all I did was dim them down so they weren't bright neon colors, but still keeping the general color scheme. I turned the bright, ugly pink into a more of a red. Let me not even say more of a red. It's a red. I dimmed down the hair color so it's not too, flashy. But at the same time, I added a little bit of bright colors because they are superheroes. You need to be a little flashy. Overall, I think I did a good job with the little bit of information I was given to give them a little bit of a personality and to make it more so they differentiate between one another, because siblings often don't want to be mistaken for one another. They want to have their own individuality, their own personality, and they want that to shine, especially when they're twins. And I think I was able to capture that pretty well, I think. And again, I didn't see too much wrong with the character designs in themselves. It was just the descriptions, the background stories, the names, and even some of the powers. It's chopped up, thrown together, not well put. Alright guys, tell me what y'all thought about the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, tell me what you think. What's your input on the whole non-binary snowflake? How would you design these characters? What were you hoping for? What do you think needs to be changed? I look forward to seeing what y'all have to say. Savage out. Bye!